going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. We're finally back. It's time for another Death Battle prediction video. But before we get into the predict, let's talk about what just happened. Adam took the L. And y'all know I was betting on the Adam, so there goes my perfect streak already. But who would have thought in a battle between people who shrink, the difference maker would have been ants? It's because Ant-Man could summon so many ants that the Atom couldn't deal with it. He got overwhelmed, swarmed, and that's what gave Ant-Man the victory. But they even admitted that in the physical fight, Atom had the advantage. So I wasn't completely wrong in my prediction. Atom was going to hand it to Ant-Man. Because when he would shrink, he could adjust his mass. But Ant-Man, his strength was just whatever his human-sized strength was. Which ain't really that impressive if you think about it. But Adam, he was punching with the mass of a white dwarf star. Come on, how did Adam not like take off Ant-Man's head when he punched him with all that mass? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But when they explained how Ant-Man won, it kind of made sense. Like, yes, he had the overwhelming advantage in numbers. Adam had nothing to do with the ants. And the fact that Ant-Man actually created Pym particles instead of just kind of ripping from something that already existed, it kind of put it into the realm of, okay, you're creating inside of a box that's already been placed. I'm creating out of nothing, so there's no limits to what I can do. That part made 100% sense to me, and I was like, okay, cool, Ant-Man won. The winning victory scene was grotesque. One of the most nastiest, goriest winning scenes that I've ever seen. Literal ants crawled out of the Atom and burst his body. That was disgusting. But even watching like the pre-fight breakdown, I thought Atom had this hands down. Because Ant-Man, like they said, he had some mental issues. I thought that would come into play because he was using his powers too much. But no, nothing. Ant-Man just summoned a bunch of ants and made him eat Atom. Ugh. But in this next death battle, in the left-hand corner, we have coming from the Dark Souls franchise, The Chosen Undead. In this other corner, we have coming from the Elder Scrolls franchise, specifically Skyrim, he who knows Dragon Tongue, the Dragonborn. It's The Chosen Undead versus the Dragonborn. Two premier franchise heroes. It's premier. Am I correct in saying that they're premier franchise heroes? Oh, it is whatever. But two heroes who can wield both magic and are proficient in, I guess we'll say martial arts in general, because I guess they can use a vast variety of weaponry. So they're kind of, this is tough to call because, well, first of all, I didn't beat Skyrim. Oh, you didn't beat Skyrim. How can you be a real gamer? Skyrim was one of the greatest. I preferred Oblivion. I beat Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion like 10 times. Game was great. I was a conjure master, and the way you use magic in Skyrim, to me, just didn't hit the same personally. That's just to me. Y'all can feel how y'all want. I'm saying that's just for me. So I didn't finish Skyrim because I didn't personally like how they were using the magic and making it's a whole thing. Dark Souls, I beat Elden Ring. That was the first of like the Souls franchises that I beat, even though Elden Ring technically isn't a Souls game, but it's in the family. It's like a distant cousin. But I guess the magic you can use in Dark Souls, if I was to compare it, I think the magic in Elder Scrolls is more superior. But I don't know the high-end. I'm thinking of Elder Scrolls 4. I don't know the high-end magic the Dragonborn gets. I know he uses Dragon Tongue. He has the Fusdo Ra and a lot of stuff like that. And again, Dark Souls, I'm only thinking Elden Ring magic. I don't know in the game what kind of magic the Dark Soul guy gets. And y'all are probably complaining like, oh, you don't know anything about these characters. You need to do your research. I say this every time, and I'm going to keep saying it every time because I don't want y'all in the comments repeating yourselves, because then I'm going to get pissed off. I don't do research on these characters. I go based on what I currently know, and I try to make a prediction because that's fun to me. It's fun to me to think, oh, I know this character pretty well. He's got to win. If I do the research, I'm just Deathbattle. So I get to watch their pre-fight breakdowns, get to learn stuff, get to see the post-fight breakdown, and I'm a happy camper. So no, I'm never going to do research on the characters. I'm always going based on what I currently know. And based on what I currently know, I'm going to say that the Dragonborn is probably going to win this because in the Dark Souls, first of all, you die a lot. And to be the Chosen Undead, you've already died. So there's that. And in Skyrim, you're slaying dragons, and if it's anything like 4, you can go into different realms and slay like miniature gods of those realms as well. So I think the enemies and the magic you'll get in the Skyrim franchise is probably going to be superior to what you've been fighting and what magic you can get from the Dark Souls franchise. Now again, I could be completely wrong, and y'all are welcome to tell me stuff that I probably didn't know that could be a determining factor. I encourage y'all, get in those comments. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. Let's debate about it. Who's going to win this next one? But for my money, I gotta go with the Dragonborn. Again, this is really hurting me that I didn't fully play through Skyrim because I don't know the tail end of the dragon tongue spells you can get. I don't know the end game monsters that you will be fighting. But I do know Elder Scrolls 3 and 4, and I know how tough those bosses were and how OP the magic became. So I'm assuming Skyrim did the same. And that's hard to top. Considering what I've beaten Elden Ring, all the bosses, got all the magic, got all the weapons. And I know that, yes, those weapons, some of them are legendary beyond belief. But also, the magic isn't too overpowering, and it's limited. I guess you could say the same thing about Skyrim. This is really a neck-and-neck fight. So either way, this is kind of like Ant-Man versus Adam 2. I'm not going to be mad whichever way this fight goes, but I would like to get the dub so I can even this out and get back on the winning track and just finish out the rest of this series, finish out the rest of this season flawless. As much as possible, at least. I'm going with the Dragonborn. Who are y'all going with? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that social media jazz. Uncrowned Kingdom. I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safely throughout the days. And I will see y'all on the next Death Battle prediction video. Hey, who did y'all have for Ant-Man versus Adam? Were you surprised? Talk to me.